All right, let's jump right in. Today we're breaking down the brand new CrowdStrike 2026 Global Threat Report. And let me tell you, it's a real eye-opener, painting a picture of a threat landscape that's become faster, way sneakier, and a whole lot smarter.
So, to kick things off, let's start with a question that really gets to the heart of the matter. Think about it. Once an attacker gets that first little foothold inside a network, how much time do you think defenders have to react before that attacker is moving around freely, jumping to other systems, and basically owning the place?
The answer? Just 29 minutes. That is the new average breakout time. And get this, that is a 65% increase in speed from just last year. That window for defenders to respond, it's slamming shut.
So you have to ask, what is driving this incredible speed? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is what the report is calling the AI adversary. Attackers are officially weaponizing artificial intelligence, and honestly, it's changing the entire game.
Just look at these numbers. In 2025, attacks by adversaries using AI shot up by a staggering 89% year over year. And we're not talking about something on the horizon. This is happening right now, and it's putting everything adversaries do into hyperdrive. They're using AI for, well, pretty much everything, from cooking up malicious code to crafting these incredibly believable social engineering campaigns. And we're seeing this in the wild. Take a group like
Famous Chilema. Yeah, so this group has used AI to create these fake but super convincing online personas. They even use it to help them do legitimate job tasks once they're inside a company, all just to fly under the radar.
And check this out. This quote from the report points to something totally new. We are now seeing really sophisticated threat actors, for example, the well-known group
Fancy Bear. They're experimenting with malware that, well, it basically thinks for itself. They're embedding large language models, LLMs, right into their malicious code, creating malware that can actually generate its own commands.
This really is the evolution we're witnessing. On one side, you have traditional malware with its predictable, hard-coded logic. On the other, this new LLM-enabled malware that's way more adaptive because it makes things up as it goes. Which brings us to the first real example of this. A piece of malware called LameHug. Instead of relying on a set list of commands, it uses an LLM to generate them on the fly, which makes it incredibly difficult to predict. Now, the report is clear that LameHug seems to be experimental for now, but it is a massive flashing signpost showing us exactly where this is all going.
All right, so if AI is making attackers faster, the next piece of this is how they're getting sneakier. And their number one tactic, it's exploiting the one thing every single organization is built on: trust.
Get ready for this one. A massive 82% of the intrusions CrowdStrike saw were completely malware-free. Just let that sink in for a second. The vast majority of the time, there isn't even a malicious file to look for.
So, how in the world are they doing it? It's simple, really. They're not hacking in, they're logging in. They're using stolen, but valid, credentials. They're abusing legitimate tools and trusted cloud services, which lets them blend in perfectly with all the normal network noise.
And this is where it gets really clever. Let's look at the playbook of a patient and highly sophisticated group like
Cozy Bear. I mean, these guys are masters of patience. They'll spend days, sometimes weeks, just building a relationship with the target over chat and email before they even think about sending a malicious link. It's so targeted and so effective that it's nearly impossible for a regular user to spot.
Okay, so we have faster, stealthier attacks. Where are they happening? Well, the battlefield has definitely shifted. The new front lines are the cloud and the network edge.
And you don't have to take my word for it. The numbers are pretty stark. Intrusions targeting cloud environments are up 37%. And for state-sponsored actors, that number just skyrockets by 266%. And what's the number one way in? You guessed it, abusing valid accounts.
So alongside the cloud, the other huge target is what we call the edge. So what is that? Basically, think of it as your digital front door. It's all the hardware and software, your VPNs, your firewalls, that connect your private network to the big, wide-open internet.
But here's the really wild part. It's the speed. The second a new vulnerability on one of these edge devices gets announced, attackers are all over it. We're not talking weeks or months. We're talking days. Just look at the timeline for a vulnerability like
CVE 2025-55-182. This thing was a big deal. It affected some really popular web application frameworks, and it basically gave attackers a golden key to run code from anywhere in the world. And guess who was right there to use it?
Groups like Volt Panda and Genesis Panda. They pounced on this immediately, and it just goes to show how coordinated they are at exploiting these weaknesses on the perimeter before organizations even have a chance to patch. Okay, so let's pull all this together. We've got faster, AI-powered adversaries. They're hiding in plain sight by abusing trust. They're hammering our cloud and edge systems. So what do we do about it? How do defenders actually adapt and win? Well, the report boils it down to 4 key priorities. First, as we all race to adopt AI, we've got to lock down our own systems. Second, and this is huge, we have to start treating identity as the new perimeter. That's where the battle is. Third, you've got to have visibility everywhere to eliminate blind spots. And finally, you have to patch those edge devices. No excuses.
And really, it all comes down to this one question. The adversary is using AI to operate at machine speed. Is your defense able to keep up? So lots to think about there. Hey, if you found this breakdown helpful, do us a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us keep making these explainers. Thanks for watching.